All right, we are live. Cool beans. All right, well, welcome to Pump Fake for a pod for December 5th for college basketball. We got an absolute banger of a slate for Tuesday. Mondays was god awful. Just horrendous. Purdue Iowa wasn't even good. That was a blowout from the jump. So literally can't be worse. And tomorrow's slate is absolutely awesome. You guys got anything from the past week? Anything you got that caught your eye? Any teams that you're sleeping on that or people are sleeping on that they shouldn't be? Anything like that?
Nothing too crazy. I think Duke is shit. I think they're just something's not looking right with that team. They haven't been playing very good. Obviously they're playing some tough competition in Arkansas, but they just looked pretty bad. But that's really my takeaway for these top teams. Obviously Arizona kind of rolling through their schedule. They're pretty deserving of the number one spot right now. So makes sense that they're up there.
I'm gonna shout out the Sycamores, Indiana State. Nick's kind of been riding them and been tailing, so I got to watch them. Went with the home team and ate some chalk, but wasn't the right play. Bradley kind of underimpressed or underwhelmed me. They did make it a game more than expected, but Indiana State, man, there's some hoopers right now over there. You check out the net rankings. If college basketball algorithm Twitter, that's all you saw this morning was just a bunch of net ranking stuff. So, but Indiana State cracked in there. Indiana State, Evansville, shout out my Indiana schools that are actually cracking to the top 100, unlike the Hoosiers. So, even Ball State. But yeah, that's who I'm gonna shout out, the Sycamores, because they're over machines, right, Nick?
Yep. Their team total has been, I think I've been it twice in the last week, and it's hit pretty easily both times. But your Hoosiers got a pretty decent win over Maryland to close out the week last week, at least. So they're still kicking.
They're kicking it. Yeah, Maryland's pretty bad too, though. I mean, they struggled early and have struggled, but I'll give them that for sure. I'll give them the win, and we'll see once the Jayhawks roll in to Assembly Hall.
Yeah, they have a pretty big game tomorrow against Michigan, so we'll see how they fare against the Wolverines.
Away, true Big Ten road game. Michigan coming off a buzzer beater. A lot of buzzer beaters on Saturday. Trevor, your Badgers did very well against Marquette. It was the right play, right? That was the play.
Oh yeah. I mean, Marquette only laying 3. I mean, didn't have to travel much. Was 45 minutes, an hour maybe to Madison. So I mean, it was it was the right play, but there was no way in hell I was betting the Badgers. Was my own team too, but I didn't think they'd be able to hang with Marquette at all. But that place was jumping. Kohl Center was rocking. And I didn't get to catch the entire of the game, but I think the second half they kind of just took control a little bit and never looked back from there. So good win from the Badgers. I mean, I've clearly been wrong on them. I was down on them this year. I didn't think they made enough improvements with Chucky and Wall and Crowell are great, but Klesmit and I'm forgetting their other names, but they added AJ Stores, which was a huge add, but he has kind of been meh so far this year, and they're winning games. So be interesting to see how they handle East Lansing tomorrow with Michigan State. But should be another great Big Ten matchup. But otherwise IPFW again, wagon this week. Forgot to bet them.
They fucking rocked Oakland. Yeah. It's
on
so
the road,
weird
too.
when Horizon gets in their conference play. It's like everything goes to shit because obviously Oakland looked to me like the best in the Horizon, playing like actual competition, taking down Xavier, playing Illinois and Ohio State close, and then they just get fucking blasted by IPFW. That conference is weird.
Maybe they just got beat up enough through those non-con games there to where it actually affected them. But I mean, that was an ass whooping. So shout out the Mastodons of Purdue Fort Wayne. And Evansville continues to be a wagon. Indiana hoops in general are wagons right now. Yeah,
it's good for it. It's
What a
good
time.
for it, right? They bleed basketball.
it's good for the sport. Yeah. All right. Well, I guess
Yeah,
we'll just
brother,
go for it. What's up?
I was gonna say, like, yeah, we've been eating up the bets for sure, and been tweeting out best bets. We took the night off tonight, at least, from our normal graphic due to the 5 games. Not trying to force it. And yes, my friend Jay Spence, I am trying to get my camera on. Shout out Jay Spence. On the top. We'll get there, buddy. I don't know what's
Once
going on.
once you move on, I'll just remove you and add you back. See if that works.
What'd you say?
I said once you finish up, I'll just remove you and then add you back, and then we'll see if that works.
Yep, sounds good. I'll be back in.
All right, I'll just send him another copy. But yeah, Nick, I guess you want to hop in. What's the game you're looking at tomorrow?
Yeah, there's so many to choose from. So, shit, I don't even know. I guess I'll just go from the top and rank it from Ken Palmer. I'll just go down and throw a score, at least for me. Let me touch UConn, UNC. I hate to fucking give UNC props, but kind of impressed with how they've been playing. They took down Tennessee. Obviously, I think that final score was a bit closer than how the game was. I feel like UNC kind of had control the entire time, and then Tennessee just made a run late. But they put up 100 on Tennessee, who I think we all thought had a very, very solid defense last year and even this year. And mostly the same guys coming back for that team. So I think UNC putting up 100 is disgusting. And then, they're still home against Florida State, who obviously is a little bit of a step down in competition, but still like a solid squad. And they didn't have a letdown spot there. They still took care of business, won the game by 8. I think going up against UConn, we're talking a whole different beast here. Obviously, UConn coming off that Kansas loss. That was like UConn's first true road game, really. And like, I feel like, even 2 years, I don't think they really had like a really big road spot, like true road spot last year. So we'll see. They'll probably be hungry and come out strong. So I don't really know what to think about this game. I feel like it's going to be a close one.
Yeah, I'm excited for this game. I did see today Cam Spencer's got some toe issues. I'm assuming he's probably going to play, but he did pop up on RotoWire today. I saw. Also Klingon versus Baycott is going to be fun as hell. I think that's kind of going to be where this is won. If Baycott can kind of push around Klingon a little bit and take control of that paint, I think it's going to be North Carolina that could probably get that W. But if Klingon's doing his thing and bullying Baycott, not letting anybody grab boards, and Spencer plays and they're stealing balls and running in transition and smacking threes and not letting North Carolina get second chance opportunities, I think it's going to be a UConn runaway. And would anybody really be surprised if UConn won by 12 points against North Carolina? I mean, it is an MSG. That's where UConn was making the run last year too. So they're not unfamiliar with this arena at all. So I lean UConn in this one, but the Cam Spencer I'm kind of a little hesitant on. But I did see it open at 4.5, and it's at 6 now, I think. But
yeah,
I don't know. I wouldn't lay more than 6. Definitely pre-flop. I probably would stay away right now. Might look at possibly an under or something, because if Baycott and Klingon are doing their thing, taking away boards from one team or the other to not get second chance, I think it's probably going to be a lower scoring game for one of these teams, and then it'll be just a time waster, win by 10, 15 points, I think. So that's just my insight, but
yeah, I think laying that amount of points is kind of it's a lot. Like, even with a team like UConn, who's as good as they are, like laying 2 possessions is a lot of points versus a team that I think is, unfortunately, they might be serious contenders. It looks like I really didn't have high hopes for them. I thought they would like be that number 3 team in the ACC after Duke and Miami, but I mean, they might emerge as the best from this conference. So I don't know. The UNC looks really good. So it's a lot of points. It's probably a stay off for me too. If I had to lean, I would lean with you with UConn. But there's obviously a bit of bias there too. I can't fucking put money on UNC and root for them. I'd rather lay on the street.
So you guys Can you see my camera? I don't know if you can or not, but computer's been
Yeah,
weird.
we can see your face now.
Mm.
A little laggy, but we can see you. We can see you this time.
Oh yeah, it has been a bad night with the Wi-Fi. I listen. I'm gonna take. I don't know if props are available on this game, but it's gonna, like you said, it's Baycott and Klingon. I see on DraftKings Armando Baycott over 13.5. The only time he hasn't actually, the only time he's hasn't hit that 3 out of the what 9 games they've played. I think it's going to be his game. I mean, he's 5 years senior now. You know, he's got the COVID eligibility. This is his time to shine. I think that Klingon matchup's also going to, you know, maybe not expose him. I think it's going to be a solid matchup, and it's going to be one down there. It's going to be a best of both worlds from both sides with Klingon and Baycott. But yeah, that's my first prop that I'm going to look at. But I come back as I figure out another one because there's another one that I was leaning. Couldn't remember if it was Cormac Ryan or not. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I kind of lean North Carolina in this one. It's definitely not on my best bet yet. But I do kind of lean North Carolina just the way they've been playing. They're gelling. They're playing hot right now. I know Connecticut came off on a loss. It is in Madison Square Garden, so I do lean the under as well. But I don't know. I'm still undecided on this game because it's going to come down to a coin flip. Probably will hit up my dog to pick it, and he's going to pick UConn because he always picks UConn for the Huskies, baby, since he picked this championship. But yeah, I think I'm going to do the Baycott play for sure, most likely. But it's still undecided. Initially lean North Carolina, but who knows? At Madison Square Garden, Connecticut's already played there as well. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. The familiarity of UConn with the MSG, I kind of lean that way too. And their guards, I mean, they lost to Kansas. I don't know how much that's obviously not a bad loss, but they're going to come off obviously a little more pissed off, a little angry. So I like UConn here. I mean, I'm also a sucker because I made a ton of money off of them in the tournament last year. So I got a little bit of bias and love towards them, but I also just don't see Baycott like beating up Klingon down low. I mean, I think they're both gonna like have a war, but I don't see Baycott getting the edge and really just like asserting himself and dominating over Klingon. So that's where it's gonna be one or losses down low between those two. So
yeah, I mean, I definitely think he can get 14 points, but I mean, yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be one down there. Curious to see how RJ Davis plays as well. I mean, he's playing lights out right now, so yeah, I don't see his prop yet, but I'm looking for it.
all right, yeah, yeah. If you find it, let us know. But I guess we'll head on to the next game, the next big one, biggest game of the night for me personally. I'm looking forward to FAU's laying. It's 2.5 now versus Illinois at MSG. Over unders 148. Note John L. Davis did take a nasty spill last game against Charleston at home. Landed on his back, but he was doing post game interviews. He was doing his thing. I think he'll be fine. But regardless, Illinois is they haven't done tremendously well against great guard play this year. They lost at home against Marquette, and in that game, Kolek and Spencer or Cam Jones went for 39 points, 11 boards, 5 assists, and 4 steals. They absolutely dominated the game. They had 39 of the 73 points, I think it was. They had no answer for it. And what does FAU do? They have elite guard play and tons of it. They got let me grab my note here. I wrote them all down. You got John L. Davis, Elijah Martin, Greenlee, Gaffney, Weatherspoon. They got so many guys. They got 2 starting lineups. So they're going to be in and out all night. Excuse me, doing their thing. FAU is going to was in this building making that run last year. They were not shocked or thrown off or anything. They dominated. I don't see why that's going to change. I mean, FAU can switch everyone on defense that's not named Vlad. They're all about 6'5", 6'4", just big, beefy, strong, quick, athletic dudes. they'll have the size. And Illinois loses the ball 7.3 times a game. They're losing on steals. Steals alone, they're giving away 7, and FAU takes the ball 8 times a game. So I think FAU is going to be very, very swipey, very take the ball away from them, assert themselves. I don't think Illinois is going to have much success. It's going to be, I think it's going to be a beatdown. FAU by double digits. I'm calling it. I love this team. This team's a wagon. I still think they're being disrespected. This team is elite, top to bottom. So give me FAU. It's gonna be my best bet. I got 2 units. I might throw another unit on this. I love FAU in the spot.
Yeah. Here's another weird lean on this game. I'm definitely leaning with FAU. Illinois just coming off a big win, road win against Rutgers, but I say that, and Rutgers hasn't really been impressive either this year at all whatsoever. But Florida Atlantic's also played half of their games in a neutral site, and I believe the game's at Madison Square Garden tomorrow as well. So first neutral site game for Illinois. They'll be traveling, they'll be pumped up for sure. I see this being a good game. It's going to be come down to free throws as well, with FAU having the edge there. So, yeah, I'm with you, man. I'm going to ride the Owls just because we've been doing it. You especially. That's your team, man. And you got the good vibes there when you saw them in Chicago. So, yeah, give me FAU as well. I don't know if I'll put in my best bets, but I'll definitely, just because you're taking it, I'll try to get another play due to the amount of slates. But I really want to. So, yeah, I'm going to look at FAU. So,
yeah, this is a tough one. For me, it's like the battle of offense versus defense. Like Illinois' defense has been very, very good. I know, like you said, I've agreed they've struggled with really good guards, like the Marquette example, and they even struggled with a team like Oakland, like we saw in the beginning of the season. But man, they're really good. Their interior defense is very good, especially they're limiting teams to 38% effective field goal percentage and 36% from inside the arc. They struggle from the free throw. They're shooting 58% from the free throw line, which is definitely going to matter in a game like this, where I think it's going to be close and it could come down to missing, a handful of free throws, which that's one of FAU. We don't have to worry about that with FAU. Their offense is obviously clicking. Their adjusted efficiency on offense is 7th in the country, 13th in effective field goal percentage, shooting 71% from the line, 38% from 3. Like, I definitely lean FAU. I'd probably just eat the juice and take the money line, because I could see it definitely coming down to literally like just a last possession type of play. But yeah, I definitely lean FAU. I obviously, you know me, I like points. I like the high offense, high octane teams more than the teams that are going to slow the game down and just rely on their defense. But it's definitely going to be a good one. I'm probably going to ride with you on FAU for sure.
I think the total shows that they're not as scared of FAU to score against Illinois' defense too. So I don't know. I'm curious to see how that moves over the next few
putting
hours.
It at 150 is pretty high, considering Illinois has really only played 2 Power 6 teams, and in those 2 games they've averaged 62 points. So they know that FAU is going to be able to score and obviously speed up the tempo a little bit. Not that Illinois is a super slow team. But one thing too to note is that FAU does also play really good defense. They're making these teams take a lot of time off the shot clock when they're on defense. They're making them pass the ball around. They're not giving them easy shots. So the total it's definitely a stay away for me, because I'm not going to take an under, because every time I've been under so far this year, it's lost. But I can't really decide on an over or an under, just because how good of both defenses are. Like, even if Illinois is going to make their shots, it might be 26 seconds into the shot clock. So I would say off the total for me, but I do definitely lean FAU.
Yeah, I just think, I'm curious. I think that price just shows they're not afraid of FAU. I bet it opened at 1.5, right, Trevor? And then it's at 2 now.
1.5, and then it moved to obviously 2 and then 2.5. So that was the last I saw. But yeah, I don't know. Illinois, they're going to be on the road neutral. They struggle with the guards. Rosado should be able to do pretty well guarding and sticking down on Coleman Hawkins. And Coleman Hawkins has kind of been a little hit or miss so far this year too. So But where is he? He went for 15 points, 20. Yeah, he's okay. I lied. He's been doing pretty damn good. So, or 6 points, 5 point. Yeah, so I was right. 1.8, 5, and 6. He hasn't been elite at like what they were expecting him to do this year. Rosado should do very well locking him down. That FAU is an elite defensive team. So I mean, top 40 in adjusted efficiency on defense, top 65 in effective field goal, and they hit the free throws. Everything comes down to it. If FAU is going to win by 1 or 2, and it gets that close, they're going to do it by making free throws. Illinois shoots 57%. Yeah, give me FAU. This is a disrespectful line. FAU is going to win by closer to double digits, I think. I'm calling it. So yeah,
I know you're an FAU. I know you're an FAU rider. So
yeah, so you might be able to take this little grain of salt, possibly. A little bit of bias here, but I mean, this team has just been an absolute wagon. I mean, what Liberty blew them the hell out.
That was honestly a very impressive win. I had Liberty team total in that game, and I really thought that game was gonna just like be a score fest, but FAU shut them down, and Liberty like literally couldn't find the basket. So that was, I mean, obviously, Liberty's Liberty, but I think Liberty's a very good team. So it's not a powerhouse team, but them getting that win pretty decidedly against Liberty was actually really impressive.
Liberty Bibberty, I don't care. Give me the Owls tomorrow. I mean, Charleston too. That spread was 12 or 13, and everybody, sometimes they kind of give you these big points, thinking, hey, there's no way Charleston will get. No, I mean, I'd said this earlier. Charleston's not the same Charleston team as last year. FAU's elite. Granted, that was a mini tournament invitational thing at FAU's home court, so get a little bit of advantage there, but. This is essentially Boca Raton of the North. I mean, they were here last year. They made the run at MSG, so I ain't worried. Give me the Owls tomorrow. If they lose to Illinois, so be it. But this team's just elite top to bottom.
Yeah.
All right. Enough of this Owl talk. I mean, I could talk about this team for days, but Huff, what do you got? What's your next game you're looking at here?
Hold on. I lost the lines here.
What are you looking for?
On our chat, I lost the lines here. I got to pull up when I exited out. But let's just pick Villanova, Kansas State. I know the line I think is Villanova at -1.5 in Manhattan, Kansas.
2.5 now.
2.5 now. Wow. Okay.
Yep.
As we speak, this is why we like to talk at 10:30, doing sicko lab mode just to see if there's any line movement. Did it open at 1.5 too? Or was it a?
I can actually find that real quick. Let me.
Because
I believe it actually opened K-State a point, if I'm not mistaken, because I looked at it later and it threw me off.
K-State favored?
I swear it was K-State -1. I'm looking right now.
Okay. Well, you can get on that. I mean, K-State, they're very close to 2 bad losses. Well, I mean, Oral Roberts and North Alabama, I mean, they're a decent team. And then Villanova obviously doing what they did against Drexel. And I had their team total 68. It was dumb. But, they've hit that every single game other than one against Maryland. Yeah, they just came out flat. It was bad. Who knows? I guess maybe they're coming into a revenge spot. Kansas State has been very unimpressive. They went to OT with North Alabama and Oral Roberts, good old missionary. But I don't know. I have no read on this game whatsoever because due to just the streakiness of both teams. Kansas State does rebound the ball just a tad bit better than Villanova, but Villanova rebounds as well. There's not too many edges other than Kansas State turning the ball over 19.3%, with 248th in turnover percentage. They don't shoot the ball well against the 3, but guess what? Either does Villanova. A line this close, we love free throws, right? So Villanova has the edge as being the second best free throw team percentage across the board. Both teams are going to struggle down low. Both teams are going to struggle to shoot the 3. I really don't know. Like I asked this because I want to hear you guys' opinion on it. And I'm personally just scared of this game, like completely like it's a horror movie because it might be. Or will it be so sloppy that they do score a lot of points. If that makes sense, it might be an oxymoron to some, but yeah, I don't know. I don't have a read here, so
Yeah,
it did
so
open K-State -1, by the way.
it
I
did.
saw
Okay,
yeah. So it's that to me, I think is better for me because I actually kind of think I like Kansas State here. I was looking at Villanova's upcoming schedule, and it's Kansas State, UCLA, and Creighton for their next 3 games. But then Kansas State on the other side has Nova, then LSU, Nebraska. So Villanova obviously has the harder run in those 3 games, but it's not like Kansas State is playing a bunch of bums after this game. So I was hoping maybe that we would catch Villanova in a bad spot, but I don't know. I kind of lean Kansas State here in the super close game. I think Villanova's 3-point defense is something that K-State will be able to take advantage of. And even though Villanova does have a little bit of size advantage for Kansas State has been offensive, grabbing the offensive boards very well. They're 7th in the country in offensive rebounding percentage. So it's not something that, is going to, like that Villanova can super take advantage of them on. Obviously, Villanova is very good at it too. They're top 100, but you bring up a good point of Villanova being very good at the line, so they're going to make those points when it counts. But it's not like Kansas State slacks really there either. They're shooting 74% from the line. This is such a tough pick. I think this being at Kansas State is really the decider for me. Being home and being a 2.5-point dog, like. I'll probably end up taking Kansas State, but it's going to be a close one too. It's not like I'm super confident in it, but if I'll probably will actually end up betting K-State.
yeah, I think I'm with you. I mean, I don't know, dude. It's a toss up, right? But yeah, who knows?
This is an absolute stay away game for me. I can't really get a read on this game. Villanova is literally one of the worst, 359 out of 362 on block shots on offense. 15% of their shots are blocked on offense. Kansas State, I mean, they're not like an elite blocking team. They're middle of the country, but that's still just an interesting stat there that they get a shit ton blocked for whatever reason, but they're not great at 3-point shooting. They do not defend it well at all. 36% they're allowing. But same with K-State shooting 31.5%, allowing 35%. But so this is going to be a battle of the boards, I think. Villanova's is they can punish you. They're big, they're strong, they're physical. Justin Moore, TJ Bamba too, underrated pickup in the transfer portal out of Washington State there. Eric Dixon. They got guys that can bang. So I think if Kansas State's ready and they show up ready to for a physical game and not expecting a track meet type of game, I think they'll be fine. But I stay away from me. If anything, I kind of lean the under just because I think it's going to be a pretty physical game and grind them out type of game. I don't think it's going to be a track meet at all. So,
yeah, I mean, and Villanova like lives and dies by the 3. So, I mean, and they don't shoot the ball very well from 3, or maybe their percentage is just so miscued because they shoot so many 3s. Kansas State doesn't defend it well either, but Villanova doesn't either. I agree on the stay away spot. I'm curious to maybe see where that total opened up at if you have that too, Trevor. But
yeah, it over and under 141. It's up to 142. I'm saying.
So it's going towards
142 and a half. I mean, it all just depends. 142 to 142 and a half ish. Yeah, I don't know. Stay away from me. I'm definitely gonna be watching it. It's gonna be a great game, but ain't no way I'm watching it. I mean, 42. Villanova's 3-point defense is they're allowing.
It's really bad.
Yeah, holy shit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're 5th worst in the country. 42.1% of opponents' points coming from 3-point land. I need to double check that with another site. Is that legit?
The opponents they're playing are not like.
Yeah, it's Penn. Villanova is also undefeated outside of the state of Pennsylvania. So.
Right, but it's like their how is their 3-point defense that? But like they've played Maryland, who put up 40 points. Texas Tech, North Carolina, Memphis. Like those are their like real teams that they've played against. And then the others are like American, Lemoyne, who just came in, St. Joseph's, and Drexel. So it's like even those teams obviously aren't scoring a bunch of points. They haven't, put up a bunch of points versus Villanova, but
Yeah.
like even Drexel shot 50% from three. St. Joe shot 52% from three. Like these teams are just like, I don't know. Obviously the volume isn't there in these games for the other teams, but
I mean, Huff's right though too. Like not only offensively they live and die by the three, but defensively too. They're gonna pack the paint. They ain't letting you get shit inside.
Villanova's shooting 29 threes a game, and they're shooting at 31%. Which like,
wow. Like how would you just sit here and stop?
It's like not horrible. Like 32% isn't. Yeah, like
no.
32% isn't like, it's not bad, but it's definitely not good to where you need to be shooting 29 threes a game.
Yeah.
Let's just be
when you shoot
and do same game parlay of everybody's under one like threes prop. Let's just do that, and then we'll just
both teams shoot like 3 of 18 from 3-point land.
Yep. I'll just like put it on DraftKings right now to see what it does. Just everybody to shoot.
Yeah, it's amazing you shoot that many threes when you shoot that elite at the free throw line. Like,
it's weird. They're shooting 83% from the line.
Just go to the rim and yeah. Is it? Yeah, it's just an absolute stay away game for me. But I would lean Villanova just because of the free throw advantage. But
I think this is going to come. I think this is going to come down from 2.5 for Kansas State. I think it's going to move closer to a pick 'em by tip.
Yeah, yeah. I also don't like that it opened Villanova's dogs. It's like, oh hey.
I could see why it got steamed the other way, right? People probably just see Villanova as a dog and just bet it, but I don't think this is going to get any higher than 2.5. Like if Kansas State becomes a full possession dog, like it won't last long anyway. I think I'm probably going to bet that right now, to be honest. I don't think it's going to get any higher.
Yeah, jump on it. All right. I'll have in another game.
I want to just hold on before we move on. I know
go for it.
I put that parlay together. It is just gross the odds they give you on that. There's 6 guys unders, and they're like it's only plus 1,000. I'm like, I mean, okay, how bad is this? So, anyway, that's I might just do that for fun, just because I shout it out and just sprinkle on it, put a little fiver on it, and just hope for bad basketball. But that makes us maybe like the under, but I'm not taking totals off the cuff right away unless I immediately love it. So, yeah, I'm going to sprinkle that. I'm just going to do it. Just give the under for everybody. Only one I'm worried about is my man, Justin Moore. Love that guy. Although, he likes to shoot the three, and he definitely can make three-pointers. So I may even just talk myself into being so gross to take his over, since the only one I don't like, and just undering everybody else. So, all right, I'm done with this game. It's a horror show. I can't wait to watch it.
Absolutely, yeah. It's gonna be a great game. I guess what happened in the next one? Wisconsin at Michigan State. A little Big Ten action here. Bucky and heading into East Lansing. Michigan State. It's nothing that anyone's. It's not new news. Michigan State cannot shoot the 3-ball or free throws to save their life. 27% from 3-point land. That's 333rd in the country, and 67% from the free throw line. Is 279th in the country. Whereas Wisconsin, not much better, 30% from 3-point line, but you're shooting 76.5% from the free throw line. That's 10% better, damn near, than Michigan State. Michigan State, elite defensively, 7th in effective field goal percentage on defense, allowing 27% from 3, only 42.3% inside the arc. So they're not making anything easy on anybody. Their losses, James Madison, opening game. James Madison's, they're a good team, so nothing against them. Duke beat them by 9 on a neutral. Arizona beat them by 6 on a neutral. What I've seen is Michigan State kind of likes to play faster on offense and just go from there, more possession, score more. Wisconsin ain't fucking doing that. They're not gonna run up and down with you. These guys, these white kids are not looking to exhaust themselves in the first half. They're gonna grind out Michigan State on defense. Wisconsin, where's that? 20 seconds on average possession length. That's 348th in the country. They are going to grind the hell out of this game. They struggle to defend the 3-point as well, but they're only allowing 34%. They're shooting better. They can shoot the free throw. Michigan State does send teams to the free throw line fairly, not like a ton, but enough. And I just think Wisconsin just does not do anything offensively. While Wall and Crowell and Wall are going to attack that glass and try to give themselves every second chance opportunity and not let Michigan State out in transition. So I like the under 131 in this game. Parlay the fact that neither team can shoot the 3-point ball well, both defended elitely. Michigan State struggles to shoot the free throw. I'm sorry, Wisconsin not elite at defending the 3, but Michigan State cannot hit it. And Wisconsin likes to crash the glass. These two teams know each other. These two coaches know each other. Under 131, I think, is just a slop fest. Just Big Ten, just classic game. That's going to end up being like 62-65, something like that. And I would lean Bucky in this one with the points. I think it got up to 5. I'd lean that way, but I'm not going to play that. I'm probably going to be on the under in this one, just due to the poor shooting and grind you out pace that Wisconsin wants to play at.
One thing, I'm checking RotoWire, and 3 of Michigan State's guys are listed as game time decisions. 2 of them are Malik Hall and Tyson Walker. So if they're not playing, that spread is definitely going to be affected. Obviously, we probably won't know until 2 seconds before tip because it's the NCAA. But just something to note, I think it's Tyson Walker's hip, and Malik Hall is listed as an illness. So I haven't looked into it, so I don't really know what, like, if it's like some cocoa shit or if he's just got a cough or whatever. But if those 2 are out, I mean, obviously that affects everything. So yeah, but I kind of lean Wisconsin in this one. Like you said, I think they're going to be able to slow it down and even knock Michigan State off of knock them off their rhythm that they still haven't even been able to find. They were pretty competitive actually in that Arizona game, more so than I thought they were going to be. Obviously Arizona covered and won by 6, but that game was literally just down to the wire. I mean, it was like a 2-point game with 20 seconds left. And it just came down to them fouling Arizona and then missing on their possession. So that game was actually pretty impressive for them to stay in, because Arizona is clearly maybe they're not clearly the best, but they're definitely top 3. So we'll see if they can play like that. I don't see why they couldn't win this game, but I think just getting 5.5 points with Wisconsin is just too many, with how well that Wisconsin has been playing, losing to Tennessee. And then, maybe walking into Providence at home is just a trap always, because Providence just doesn't lose there. So those 2 games really aren't, I'm not going to take them into account too much, Tennessee being as good as they are. But that win against Marquette at home, by double digits was definitely impressive, because Marquette is a very good team. So I would lean Whiskey and almost 2 possessions with them.
Yeah, I mean, the total is interesting because it's the unders of that total is hit in these matchups. I know that the teams change, so it doesn't really matter, but I mean, history does have its merit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of the last 7 played, that under is hit. So yeah, it's gonna be a grind out game. I'm curious to see the team total. Nick, no, I'm just kidding. But Michigan State will probably have the higher team total, obviously. And if it's priced at, let's say 60, it'll be like around 68. Whew, man, yeah, I got to lean the under as well. With you, Trev. But this one might be a stay away for me, even more so than Villanova, Kansas State, since we kind of talk each other into bets and taking bets and talk ourselves into it. So yeah, I kind of just want to root for that Big Ten kind of grind out game.
Yeah, I mean, Wisconsin, the last thing they want to do is be up and down all night with you on defense and offense. So I really lean the under in this one. Probably going to fire up on that. I see it ticked up to 131.5, so maybe I'll just see how many points I can get out of it. But yeah, no way in hell I'm playing it over.
I agree. Yeah, I think people will be sicko enough to take the over. Also, we talked about UConn and North Carolina going to be one in the paint. This game is going to be one in the paint. Absolutely. Just to both teams not shooting threes. well, but they're also not really shooting threes at all as much as compared to their point distribution leaning towards the 2-pointers. So watch those. Just it's going to be a grind out, absolutely. Let's just hope that the refs are on the same side.
Both of these teams also have like pretty good games following too. Like Wisconsin has Arizona on deck after Michigan State too. So, but again, it's the Michigan State on the other side has Nebraska afterwards. So I keep looking for a potential like look ahead or a game where they might not put everything all out there because of the next game. Even though this is a conference game, they're going to obviously put it all out there. But maybe just a slight look ahead or get some guys some rest or whatever. But they're both just huge games afterwards, so it doesn't work.
Yeah, give me Tyler Wall unders since I'm just throwing props out there because there's so many available and they normally never are at this time. I'll take his under 10.5. We'll take that.
Points or rebounds?
Points.
Okay.
He goes, okay. He's pissed.
Yeah, I mean, I don't give a shit. I've actually been on the opposite side of my Badgers almost every game. They keep giving me the finger. So
no, this is I was on Marquette too. I mean, just leaned them, but I don't know.
Me too.
If we lean the under, is this another time I might do that same shit again? I'd be afraid to do for Chucky Hepburn's line. I think it's priced right, so I would stay away from that one.
Yeah, sounds all right. Sounds like we're all kind of together on this one, under in Wisconsin.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
All right. Who's got the next game? Who wants it?
Down to talk about whatever games. So unless you guys want a specific one.
Yeah, I'll hop in. I actually had another one I was looking at. San Diego State at Grand Canyon. Over under 145. San Diego State laying 3. I like Grand Canyon in this. You get a top school like San Diego State, fresh off a national championship game, coming to Grand Canyon to play. This place gets lit. I don't know if you guys have seen the stadium. This place is jumping. This place is loud. It's close to the court. They're in your face. This place is gonna be fucking rocking tomorrow. 3 points. I may just say fuck the points. I might take the money line. San Diego State, their offense has been a lot better this year compared to last year. They're putting up points. They did get a scare against UC San Diego, little in intertown rivalry. So kind of expected them to give them a good game, but go back and look at these wins. They beat Washington by 3 on overtime on a neutral. They beat Cal by 9 in overtime on a neutral, or 9 by overtime in a neutral. And St. Mary's beat them by 25. No, you beat any team by 25. That's fair, but St. Mary's hasn't been St. Mary's this year. So I don't think that win really carries its weight. And then BYU beat them by 9 at Provo. So they hung in there, but their one true road game at Provo. I mean, if you want to count San Diego for a little intertown rivalry, count that. But they're going to Grand Canyon. This place is going to be kind of equal to BYU. It's obviously not going to be as ridiculous, but Grand Canyon gets crazy. They get loud, and they can shoot too. So and they grab rebounds. They can shoot the free throw 73%. San Diego 73% also. Grand Canyon defends inside the arc, only allowing 45%. They're forcing 21% turnover on defense. So if they can take advantage of this energy and play fast and force some turnovers on San Diego State, and all of a sudden San Diego State's playing from behind, who's to say they don't just kind of revert back to themselves? I mean, they put up the last 3, 76 against Cal on a neutral. Point Loma Nazarene, they only scored 71 on at home. They scored 63 on San Diego. So their offense is kind of like regressing a little bit from where they were, putting up 83, 88, 79, 100. So they're back to the mid 70s, low 70s and the 60s. So I think Grand Canyon's going to be all right. They're putting up 76, 79, 86, 70 in a loss, 76, 89, 88. This will by far be their best opponent they've seen this year. And they will see, but I think they're going to get up for this game. Even though they have Liberty on deck, I think this is the game they get up for. San Diego State, national championship game, runner-up. It's going to be rocking.
Yeah, I definitely fucking agree with you. I think this is going to be a great game. Probably one that's going to maybe get a little bit overlooked just by normal people because they see Grand Canyon, and they probably don't realize that they're a fucking wagon. I kind of like the over in this game. I think it's sitting at 145. I kind of think it's going to go over. I think Grand Canyon's offense has been clicking. Their 3-point defense isn't very good. Obviously, San Diego State's not looking to shoot a ton of threes a game. They're shooting 230th in the country in attempts per game, but they're making 34% of them. So when they are shooting them, they're probably pretty open looks. They're pretty efficient with their offense, so they're not really just going to chuck up shots that don't have a high probability of going in. And Grand Canyon also plays with some pace. They're 55th in average possession length, 91st in adjusted tempo. Their free throws attempted per game is very high too, so they know how to draw some fouls and get to the line where they're shooting 73% from the line. So I kind of like a lot of points in this one. So I'm leading the over 145.
Yeah, I love that as well. I was just about to call that out. So, yeah, I mean, it's tough for me to pick a side yet. I think this is going to be close regardless. San Diego State may come out and play some bully ball after just being embarrassed and not really doing much against Point Loma Nazarene. Grand Canyon's going to be rocking. You're right, Trev. It makes me just want to take Grand Canyon, just like me wanting to take San Francisco against Arizona State. But it's going to be Grand Canyon will be tested. And I think for it to open at 3.5 is telling that it's going to be a close game. So that makes me just want to root for the points as well.
I see 2.5 now.
It's back to 2.5. Yeah.
Yeah, it's moving down, moving towards Grand Canyon. But yeah, this place is gonna get rowdy as hell. I mean, I can look at the VSiNs, but granted, it's early as hell, so the only people betting on this are people like us, I guess. So probably not the best.
What do you mean, people like us? No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, just
trying to get ahead of it,
Yeah,
yeah. But yeah, I mean, Grand Canyon. That's probably going to be a play for me. I mean, definitely going to take the points. Probably going to play the money line too. I think this is a game where they just get up and this place gets rowdy. So, and they rebound the ball very, very well. So it's not like San Diego State's going to bully them all the way down in the paint, not let them have anything. So, yeah, the tallest guy, 6'10", Miles Hyde, and for San Diego State, and then Grand Canyon's got a 6'10", 6'9" forward, so they'll have the height to go with it, and the size. So 6'10", 250, 6'9", 230. Yeah, they got size to bang with San Diego State down low, and they can shoot the ball. So and it's just a matter of the turnovers. Grand Canyon can force them. They kind of give the ball away, but San Diego State doesn't force them and they don't give it away. So I think that's kind of going to be where this game is won and lost. And give me Grand Canyon at home to make some extra plays and maybe get that whistle from the refs.
Go Antelopes, right? Antelopes. Go Antelopes.
Yes, the Grand Canyon Antelope. I'm pretty positive, but yeah, the Antelopes.
Yeah. Good shit. Yeah,
Bryce. Oh yeah, Bryce Drew's the head coach. Scott Drew's brother. I forgot about that. They had to borrow Baylor's warm-up unis at the March Madness, I believe.
Oh, that's right.
Because I forgot about that. But yeah, so I'm taking Grand Canyon +3 here. I've talked myself into it. I'm definitely on the +3 and probably going to play the money line tomorrow too.
I don't really have much to shout out, but I mean, I'm definitely leaning, and it's probably most likely going to be in the best bets graphics tomorrow. It's going to be Butler, they cover and they just don't let up at home against Buffalo, and Buffalo is one of the worst teams in the country, which is sad to say, because Buffalo was a pretty good team a couple of years ago. They used to run and gun. Both these teams. Buffalo has no defense at all whatsoever. They're 333rd in defensive efficiency. They can't cover they can't cover a field goal. They couldn't cover a pan if they wanted to in the kitchen. And Butler just likes to run it up, essentially. So I think it's
Doesn't Butler make you a little nervous though? I bet on this team a few times this year, and it's hold your ass every time they play.
Look at the defensive numbers for Buffalo really quick on Ken Palm.
No, I mean, listen, they beat Eastern Michigan by 39 points. Southeastern Missouri State. I mean, that's Southeastern Missouri State. That's what I'm basing it off, is that they've had their tough test of Michigan State, Florida Atlantic, Penn State, Boise State, and Texas Tech, and barely squeaking that out. But a win's a win, and they did that after being up pretty much the whole game and then blowing it with Texas Tech. I just think they're going to come into Buffalo and pretty much just say, let's dominate, because this is their last easy-ish win. They play California next, and that's not a look-ahead spot at all before the Big East. So
yeah, they got Cal, Saginaw Valley, and Georgetown. The next three. I'm not too worried about a look ahead really here, but Butler, they're fucking. I like their team totals. I don't know if I can really bet them on the spread. They make you hold your ass at the end of the game. Like that Texas Tech game. Granted, Texas Tech was unconscious. God, what did they shoot? 3-point land. They shot 50% from 3-point land. Is like a 26% shooting team. And Butler defends it. Even after that game, they're still allowing 29.8%, 76 in the country. So it could be a little bit of regression yet still, but Buffalo shoots 27.5%. They're allowing 43% from the arc, 59% effective field goal, turning it over 24%. I mean, yeah, the Butler team total, maybe the first half. I don't know if I want to fuck around with the full game just because dumb shit happens, but I don't see how they don't put up, 90 points on this Buffalo team. At least, I mean,
it's going to be like
92 to Fairleigh Dickinson, 92 at home, 102 to Hofstra, 89 to Iona, 81 to James Madison. I mean, if Butler can't score 90 points, I mean, Christ.
Well, if you think they can score 90, I mean, Buffalo's not scoring 70. That's for sure. I mean, I don't know. I think it's.
But the extra possessions enough. I mean, if enough turnovers and shit happen, they can get extra possessions. But I think if they're getting turnovers, it's going to be they can get the defense back and get it set. So, yeah. I mean, what was the spread in this?
23.
23 right now.
Sorry, no can do. Not for me. I'm going to take I might look at Butler team total, to be honest.
It's going to be like 86 as of right now.
I have no problem. I think they'll put up 90. I mean, I don't know if I'll play 89.5, but I think 86, 85. Yeah, I'll play that.
I was going to say 84, 85 is definitely easy. 86.
Their tallest guy is 6'9". Nice. Butler's got Andre Screen too. This fucking guy has been amazing for him. Pierre Brooks. Yeah, I mean, they've got dudes. It's just, how are they going to get up for this game? They just came off the Boise State, Texas Tech games. Then you just have to play Mizias, Buffalo, Cal, and Saginaw. I mean, they have nothing coming up. How excited are they for this game? Not enough for me to lay the points, but team total possibly, just because even if Butler doesn't give a shit, they should still be able to score at will on this Buffalo team.
Oh, yeah, they'll score. I'm not worried about
it. Yep.
And that place probably be getting jumping now too. Now they're getting good again. That place is probably going to start to fill out a little bit more.
Oh yeah, the culture's coming back, baby. Thad Matta's got them boys running. So
yeah, huge improvement over last year. That was a very, very tough watch last year.
Yep. No, I mean, like I said, I'm definitely gonna hit my best bets in the morning and share them. So I'm just trying to look at the eye test and figure out what my gut's telling me. And I know Butler likes to pour it on to those lowly teams, and Buffalo is lowly, and that is a nice way to put it. They barely beat Roberts Wesleyan. Where the hell is Roberts Wesleyan? Is it in Buffalo? Shout out Roberts Wesleyan.
I think that's Kentucky, to be honest. Didn't they beat didn't Robert Wesleyan beat somebody? Or they gave they beat Louisville, did they?
No, that was someone else. That was Kentucky Wesleyan.
Kentucky Wesleyan. Okay. Yeah. Nick, you got any other games, or otherwise I'll just figured I'd go through this remaining list and we'll just see if anyone's got thoughts.
Yeah, no, you can just rip through the remaining list. I honestly didn't really super dive deep before we started going in, so just kind of on the
Fair.
fly.
I guess first
Yeah,
things
so
first, hit
that's
us
why
with
I'm
the
like,
Indiana State.
I don't have best bets. I'm like that Magic Johnson meme.
I did lock in Kansas
Here,
State,
so-
and I know off topic, I fucking drilled Bengals money line live because Trevor Lawrence went down.
He did?
Yeah, his ankle's hurt, so I need him to come back next week. But yeah, Bengals just kicked a field goal. They're up by 3 with 2.5 minutes left, so I'm kind of
You like
sweating that
legit?
out over here.
You like legit
Imagine
hurt,
being in.
hurt?
Yeah, he got not carted, but carried off the field. You know, like got helped off the field into the locker room, so it looked.
How many rushing yards does he have? Tell me he's got like 25, 40, 45. That'd be cool.
Lawrence?
But yeah, imagine betting the under in this game though. Oh,
Yeah,
what a loser.
that shit's.
What a
Did you bet?
loser.
Did you bet the under?
I can't be mad. I've smacked every single goddamn primetime under this year, so I'm so far up.
He only has 8
matter.
rushing yards
That bastard.
on 5 carries.
Wow. Huh? What? 5 carries and you're getting. Oh my god. All right. Last time I bet. Never mind. Well,
sorry to just derail the fucking show.
No. Yeah. Anyway, this game, Providence at Oklahoma. Lean
Mm-hmm.
in Oklahoma. I like what I've seen from Oklahoma this year. Iowa beat them by 12. USC beat them by 2. Those are neutrals. They haven't gone anywhere other than a neutral so far. They just beat Pine Bluff 107 to 86. Granted, it's Pine Bluff, but they still put up 107 points, 89, 82, 93, 90. I mean, they're scoring points. Providence away from home, different team here. Providence has also been, they had the Kansas State loss that was on a neutral. Rhode Island, they beat by 15. They've looked good. They play fast. They got a top effective field goal defense, but and they played some decent opponents, Georgia and Kansas State on a neutral. Wisconsin, they fucking demolished them. Wisconsin was never in that game from the jump, but yeah, I kind of like the over in this game just because of how fast both teams play. Oklahoma can rebound the ball extremely well. They shoot the ball lights out inside the arc, 78% free throws. They're only allowing 39% inside the arc. But granted, they haven't really played anyone. Central Michigan, Mississippi State, Texas State. So, nobody, but they beat the teams they're supposed to. Iowa by 12, USC. So the fact that this is in Oklahoma again, I don't think they're going to be playing on a damn volleyball court like they did the last game against Pine Bluff. I had Oklahoma 27.5, and the second I saw that volleyball court, I knew I was screwed. So this should be back at the regular arena. I don't know why it wouldn't be. So I lean Oklahoma with the points, laying the points. I might look at a team total possibly. Just how fast these teams like to play. 3-point Providence allowing 31%. Kansas State shot 36% against them. They got to the line 27 times. And I mean, I just like what I've seen from Oklahoma. They move fast and they can shoot the ball lights out. So lean Oklahoma in that.
Yeah, I'm with you on the over. I honestly don't really have an opinion on the side. Obviously, like you said, Providence away from home is definitely not the same Providence team. But I think even given Oklahoma's defensive numbers, again, like you said, playing Iowa and USC, definitely real teams for sure. But I mean, even giving up 86 Arkansas Pine Bluff, I know they won by 21 points, but letting Pine Bluff drop 86 on you without any extra time is kind of insane. That's really the only team they kind of let do that. So maybe it was just kind of they were tired after playing Iowa, USC, and they just weren't really taking it serious on the defensive end. Definitely could be part of it. But even so, like Oklahoma average possession length, they're 50th in the country. Providence, even though they're not super fast in their possession length, they're 113th in adjusted tempo. And they still have a solid offense, shooting 54% from the field, 33% from 3. And again, like I said, the defensive numbers kind of are a bit scary to take it over here, but I think the offenses are just too competent to not put up 75 each or so, which I know you mentioned team total will probably be like Oklahoma at 75.5 and Providence at like 70.5 or so. And when I looked at that, I could see both easily hitting that mark. So I don't see why taking the game total is out of the question. So I kind of like the total here. Probably no lean on a side. If I had to, I would take Oklahoma with you just because Providence isn't home. But I actually do like the over about a bit.
Yeah, I don't mind that either. I mean, Pine Bluff shot 48. We'll round it up 48% inside the arc, and they shot 35% from deep. And they were put at the line 27 times. Oklahoma put them at the line 27.
35% from three and losing a game by 21 is pretty absurd, insane.
Well, I mean, yeah, Oklahoma 60. We'll round up 68% inside the arc, 43% from
68% from the field.
Yeah, inside the arc. No, just inside the arc.
Oh, just inside. Oh,
yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, they 27 of 40. No resistance at the rim. No
Jesus
resistance.
Christ. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure like the skill gap is just super fucking huge with Oklahoma and Pine Bluff. But like I said, I don't know. I mean, obviously we're not fucking, well, I'm not a fucking D1 athlete. I don't know how tired you are after playing Iowa and USC. Obviously, like you definitely aren't going to feel up to playing a Pine Bluff who you're probably going to beat. You don't really have to play defense. But giving up 86 is kind of crazy. And
having this game on deck too.
Yeah, I guess it's just a sandwich spot. So I guess we won't put too much into that defensive performance because their other defense, their other like defensive performances have been very good. Like again, it's versus pretty shit teams. I mean, holding Iowa to 67 and USC to 70 is definitely impressive. Obviously, the other teams, some of them barely even scored 50 points. So yeah, I do that. That does actually make me like Oklahoma a bit more. I think the over is probably my favorite if I had to, and then Oklahoma is definitely close behind it. But good game for sure.
Yeah, it's interesting that the total opened at 146 and it's going down to 144. I'm going to take. I lean the over as well. I also am not. I think I'm just going to take Oklahoma. As well. I'm going to lean with you guys. I don't need to give any extra thought into it. I'm definitely not going to pick Providence, and they won't be anywhere near my best bets. So it makes me kind of lean, maybe like you said, Trevor, like Oklahoma team total if it's worth it. I'm curious to see where it goes at since it opened at 147 and went down to 144. So, but that line staying stiff at 5. So.
Yeah. I don't even know what these splits are looking like for this game, but Oklahoma 74% of bets, 58% of the money. So, but you said the under's going down.
It opened. I mean, it opened at 147.5.
Oh damn! It's only catching 23% of bets and 42% of money, and it's trending down. So sharps are definitely on the under in this one. Kind of makes me a little scared, but I still
better for us though because I mean CLV hasn't been worth a shit half the time on our bets. So maybe it goes down to 142 or 141. We can rip it even quicker. Even tomorrow, you know?
The last two totals, I bet I've gotten the worst fucking CLV with Memphis, Ole Miss, and even today with Arkansas Furman, and it didn't even matter.
Yeah, no, it's the best. Yeah, Memphis, Ole Miss, I was not afraid of. Even
it's only cool to brag about when it falls in that fucking like that spread that it missed by. So like Arkansas Furman was 158.5 and it closed at like 153.5, I think. So it's only cool if it fell at like 154 or something, then you can fucking flex it.
Purdue, Iowa was 167 last night, and I wanted to take it, but I'm out of money. No, I'm just kidding. But no, I from all this NFL. So no, I think and then it went to 158.5. So yeah, Iowa. I think did it end at 158 or 157?
Arkansas Furman.
I was another game that happened. Iowa Purdue. 67 went down to like 157.
I think it was 67 to like 87 or something like that. So what's that? 140, 154-ish.
Yeah.
It got pretty close. I know Purdue didn't score 88, which was their team total, and they dropped fucking 45 in the first half.
It looked close, and it easily could have. That 158 would have been in trouble versus like I don't know. It's crazy how the line. If you just bet on line movement, you're probably down units, but so it's always also about having that test. So, but that's always a good indicator, and hopefully we can get a even better line before the AM and have an even smaller number on our best bets since we all like it.
Hell yeah. The next one, just quick rip through. Sports bettors in the chat. Shout out Sports Better. He's talking. He likes Evansville and BYU over tomorrow. In Provo, Evansville Purple Aces respect the Purple Aces. They come in off that awesome overtime win against Northern Iowa, 91-89. Prior game 90-78 they lost. And then they put up 93, 85, 74, 76. St. Louis Pharmacy 116. So this team can kind of, they can score. Lately they've been putting up buckets. The last 4 they've gotten 85 plus. So I think they can score. BYU, we know what BYU is. They're an absolute wagon this year. Just beating the hell out of teams. No mercy for anybody. I don't even know what their closest win is. San Diego State by 9. That was the closest one. NC State by 9. Yeah, they're just demolishing teams. But after Evansville, they got Utah on deck on the road. So I got to look what this line would be, what the number is. But Evansville 24.5. That kind of seems like a lot of points for a BYU team with a huge game against Utah on the road up on deck on Saturday too. 24.5. I mean, Evansville, this is their biggest game of the year, outside of Drake or somebody in the Missouri Valley, obviously. But BYU on the road. I mean, BYU is shutting teams down, but are they really going to get up for the Evansville Purple Aces when they got Utah on deck on Saturday? I kind of lean no. I kind of like Evansville in the points and that over. Like he said, Utah or BYU might be a little lax on defense and lets Evansville score and get to the rim a little bit more. BYU will get theirs on offense against Evansville. Not to mention the OT game could have tired legs a little.
Yeah, I could see a potential look ahead to Utah for sure. Definitely like a big rivalry game for them. Maybe not so much in basketball as it is in football. But Evansville is definitely putting up points, and obviously BYU, so you touched on that. And they both play pretty fast. I think their defenses are holding teams to longer possessions, just creating more passes and not giving them many easy open looks. But the offensive numbers are definitely there for an over. Obviously, BYU's top 10 in effective field goal percentage, shooting 38% from 3, 59% from inside, 77% from the line. They're literally getting like 2 shots blocked a game. Like they're protecting the ball, not turning it over. The only thing that would keep me a bit afraid of it is like you said, the Utah look ahead, but I don't see why BYU wouldn't be like put up, mid 80s, high 80s in this game with ease against Evansville. And Evansville's offense is definitely competent. Their 3-point defense is bad, which is good for BYU, but their 3-point offense and inside the arc offense is also very good. So I can definitely see there being a lot of points. I don't mind taking the over on this one.
Yeah, I think BYU might be tough. I don't know. I'm not going to take the spread at all, just because I love Evansville, but that's a stay away spot for me. I guess I lean the over as well with you guys with all the points, but I just don't have much of a read on this game personally. But I am pumped for BYU versus Utah this Saturday. I will be absolutely drinking some caffeine to it. So.
Yeah, I mean, Utah's been an under team this year too. They've gone over twice, and one of them was against Houston Christian. And we all know how bad Houston Christian is. They put up 110 on them. Otherwise, under 148, under 157, under 157, under 142, over 151, and under 143. So they're staying under just because they're fucking waxing teams. They're not letting them do anything. So, I mean, it's just a matter of, are they going to be up for this one with Utah on deck? I kind of lean no. I kind of like Evansville to get some buckets here, and Evansville's not going to stifle them on defense whatsoever. So I kind of like that over there. I mean, 85 to 70, something like that. Get a 155. I mean, Evansville with a backdoor cover because BYU kind of gives up at the end, puts in whoever, and they just foul. Don't play D, whatever. I could see a backdoor cover here, and Evansville could get this done just with the Utah look ahead. That's how I kind of see this. And yeah, because BYU is going under because they're playing defense. That's again comes back to a big question: Are they gonna be up for it? And I kind of lean no.
Yeah, I definitely see if BYU has a big lead, even with like 5 minutes left, just pulling the guys and letting the bench guys get some time in and just give the starters some rest for the big game on Saturdays, which gives Evansville some opportunity to get some just meaningless points to push us over. So yeah, I mean, I definitely do like the over, and then BYU is shooting like a shit ton of threes as well. Like they're definitely not afraid to just let it loose and just make it rain. So if they're having a non-night, like they are literally going to run up the score on Evansville. So I like it. I can see BYU dropping 90. So I like it.
Yeah, and Evansville allowing 38% from three. So that's not a recipe for success against BYU other than buckets. So
Right.
yeah, I like the over more than playing Evansville in this one, just because I can see Evansville getting stifled, but the backdoor aspect of that over I could see too. I mean, if BYU won 95 to 72, is anyone shocked? Absolutely not. So give me the over in that one. Not touching Evansville, even though I respect them. I respect them to score points and cover this over.
Yeah, shout out Sports Better. I think that's a good play.
All right, and then we'll just quick squirt through whatever's left here. Lost my page. Monday, go to there. All right. Indiana State. Anybody? Nick, the Indiana State Whisper. What do we? They're playing Missouri State, I believe, or no, at Northern Illinois.
Let's see. What's the total in the game?
8. I love
Holy fucking shit. Have you seen the total of this game?
it. Yeah.
It's fucking 166. So Indiana State team total is going to be like 87.5. Holy fuck. That's pretty fucking high.
Possibly an overcorrection. Not an
holy-
overcorrection, but over exaggeration.
Holy fuck, that's really high. I'm definitely not going to take the under. I'll tell you that. But fuck, I mean, Northern Illinois can definitely score the ball. Like their offense is good. They're shooting 37% from three, 53% from inside, and they play pretty fast too. They're 106 in possession length, 18th in adjusted tempo. They're doing the opposite of the other teams that we've kind of touched on basically all night. Their opponent's average possession length is shorter than theirs, so their opponents are getting shots off in 16 seconds. So they're just I don't know. I haven't watched them. Honestly, I haven't watched a single game of Northern Illinois. I'm just like straight up looking at numbers here. But I mean, they've played 7 games now, and their opponents are just holding the ball for 16 seconds before shooting. So that's fucking insane. So I think we're going to get a lot of possessions, and with like it's crazy to say a top 5 offense in the country, I guess, because it's obviously not a top 5 team, but given who they're playing and given how their offense is playing numbers wise, they are a top 5 offense. They're first in effective field goal percentage, 5th in 3-point shooting percentage, and 6th from inside the arc. They're hitting their free throws. Yeah, I mean, holy fuck, that total's really high. I'm definitely probably not going to play it, but if you had to, I guess you'd take the over or Indiana State's team total over. But Jesus Christ, that's a lot of points.
Yeah, I mean, Sycamore's the team total's been a wagon. I mean, you kind of can't stop now, right? I mean,
yeah,
Northern Illinois is only getting 10% turnovers on defense. They're not even taking the ball away to kill a possession, and they're not rebounding the ball well. So,
I mean, the last 2 games with Southern Illinois and Bradley, it was 75.5 and like 73.5, I think. So we're gonna get like a fucking extra 14 points on their team total here, which is just crazy with a higher ranked team. Oh no, they're not. I lied. Ignore that. But I don't know. That's 87 points is fucking crazy. And that's like if you have like even 3 minutes of like a stretch where you're just not scoring at all, like I feel like you're probably just dead. Like you kind of have to play very, very fast and very efficiently and not miss a ton of shots to score 90 points. That's not an easy feat to do. Like, I mean, they put up 90 on St. Mary of the Woods, who's a fucking D2 school. Like, obviously, their starters probably didn't play, 28 minutes that game. But, I mean, yeah, I mean, 90 is not easy to do. So, I don't know. Probably a stay away.
Yeah,
I
they
think-
got nobody on deck either, so no look ahead. Sorry, Huff.
No, you're good. No, you're good. I think it's an overcorrection. I just makes me want to stay away from it. My buddy Jay Spence, who tweeted at us, he is an ISU graduate, so he goes, shout out Indiana State, show him love on the pod, and guess what? I did. He didn't tune in time, so. But he said Indiana State -8 with the check mark. We'll call that out. So that's Jay Spence's play, the homer play for Indiana State. It opened at 6.5. I think I would take that. 8 is probably my ceiling, but if I like 6.5, what makes me not like 8? I want to take the over because who wants to take an under in this game, right, Nick? But 166, we'll see if it's priced good or price bad, and we'll just I don't know. Maybe it drops for tomorrow morning as well. But I'm staying away from this game and just going to enjoy the greatness from the Sycamores.
I mean, Northern Illinois can run up the score too. Like it's not. I'm definitely not playing it under here, and even laying 8 points with Indiana State is sort of scary. Like Northern Illinois put up 91 on App State, who we've seen as a pretty solid team. They put up 98 on Little Rock. Obviously not. A team that's, you write home about, but 98 points in regulation on a neutral court is pretty insane. And they put up 89 on DePaul, who obviously DePaul is a poverty program. We all know that, but it's still a Power 16 that plays in the Big East. Like they're not, I don't know. I shit on Georgetown a lot too. I think the bottom of the Big East is really shit, but still putting up that amount of points on a team that should have some solid talent is definitely nothing that you just are like, oh, they got lucky or whatever. Like scoring 90 points a game in regulation is like I said before, it's not fucking easy to do. And Northern Illinois, I think, is worse than Indiana State is doing that on Power 6 teams. So, yeah, I think if you had to, I would take the over or one of their team totals. I think, maybe one of them hits, if not both. But yeah, even the spread is pretty large.
Yeah, and betting them to get 88 points when they're only grabbing 20% of their offensive boards too. You're needing a lot of shots to fall, which have been for them this year. They've been falling like crazy, but
that might be
at some
why
point
they're
you're not
so bad at offensive rebounding because they just fucking I'm
There's-
sure it's
there's-
calculated in, but
I'm sure that'll progress, regress in the positive, and their 42% 3-point and 62% inside the arc will regress to the norm a little bit more. Not to say that it's going to be a bad team. They can still shoot the lights out, but shoot 37.5% from 3-point land. So I think, that'll regress, but still you're going to need every shot to fall, especially if they're not grabbing boards right now. So it's a high total, but you definitely, like you said, you can't bet an under with this team.
no, definitely not.
Speaking of Indiana basketball, Huff, IU at Michigan. Michigan's laying 6 tomorrow. It's a big number.
I see 7.5 now.
Ooh.
Give me the Hoosiers.
Khalil Ware or what?
I don't know, dude.
He's the guy on this team.
Yeah, I know. When I watched the Hoosiers, it's like they should have beat Maryland by 30, 40 points. That second half was bad. Like it's another Jekyll and Hyde kind of team that you get the best and worst of both of them. It scares me that Michigan's coming off that big loss. I like the under. I got 146. It actually was 147, and it's down to 145. It's going to be this game's got 74 to 69, 74 to 68, something like that on it. That I think the Hoosiers probably will be playing from behind the entire time, just due to being at Michigan. But I think they'll keep it competitive and whatnot. But who knows? It's their first true road test. They've been in neutral site games all pretty much as a road team. So only against UConn. It's not really on the road as much as people think when you have 12,000 fans screaming at you and hating your guts. So the homer in me wants to just take the 7.5, but I don't advise it. And it definitely will not make the graphic tomorrow. That's for sure.
Yeah. I mean, He's shooting 25% from 3-point land too. That's and 69% nice from the free throw line. That's not a recipe for success on the road, especially interconference play.
Oh, they don't even shoot the three. That's the thing. When you watch them, I mean, they barely shoot the three. Now they did in the first half against Maryland pretty well, but yeah, they don't shoot the three at all really well.
Yeah, I mean, Malik Renault has been fairly nice last couple of games I've watched him, and him and Khalil Ware, they've just been playing very well down low, just controlling that. So that'll be huge for Michigan against Michigan. You know, Cheddar and Nakamawa and whatever else, but the big X factor is going to be Dougie McDaniels. I mean, this guy
that kid
can
is
go for 25,
nasty.
10 every game. I mean, how do we shout out Noah Beanick on the SGPN on the TCE show?
He's I think he just dipped.
Well, yeah, no, I mean, I watch the Hoosiers a lot heavy, but hey, dude, yeah, Doug McDaniel, man, stud.
Dude, he's nasty.
Yeah.
He's shooting fucking 41% from three, 50% from the field, 20 points per game. Like, this kid is kind of nasty.
He's disgusting.
And the volume is there. It's not like he's shooting fucking like 3-4 threes a game. Like, he was 7 for 12 in that Oregon game where they lost.
Did you see that three? And I think it was overtime or at the end, or no, it was end of the second half. He got the screen. He just stepped right up into a three with like 5 seconds left. Just drained a three, forcing overtime. The dude's amazing. I mean, other than him dribbling the ball off his leg against Oregon, which they could have won the game in regulation, he's been lights out.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then, like I was saying, go for it.
No, I think this is another team that you've seen them in strides. You've seen them do pretty well. Now, Long Beach State was an anomaly. I think they easily could have won that game, but Long Beach State's solid. And when you score 80 plus points, and both teams do, it's obviously anyone's ball game. They played Memphis pretty good as well. I mean, Stanford, they won in the neutral site, but got blown out by Texas Tech. But their style of play just doesn't match with Texas Tech's, and obviously the half court kind of style won that game. So Indiana's a similar team. I think they need to try to get into transition. As if Robbie Hummel's doing this game on the Big Ten Network, he's going to say it 55 times. But you know, they're going to need to run in transition and try to match Michigan, especially in the first half, to stay competitive. They cannot get into the knock you out, drag you out, unless they get down low to Malik and Khalil, which is what they'll do. But they need to learn how to play the half court ball better. So just who knows, man. So I lean the under, but now that I'm talking about how they need to do that and match Michigan, it makes me scared to take it. But it's a Big Ten game. You know, I mean, 147 is a lot of points in a Big Ten conference game.
Yeah, and I mean, the fact that it is a Big Ten game, this is going to be probably 110% different game than we've seen from both teams so far. Right. I mean, these teams, they know each other. These coaches know each other. This is familiar ball. This isn't Long Beach State coming into Ann Arbor this time. They'll be ready for this game. So, I think in this game, I think I really like Doug McDaniel, probably his PRA. Shout out Noah Beanick, what I was trying to say from SGPN. He's been on this Doug McDaniel play. He's been spoon feeding it over in the college experience stream at night. His points, rebounds, assists. I mean, it's usually set to like 26, 27. The man can get fucking 30 points in a game if he wants. So I mean, it's depending. Hey, where are those props that you're seeing? I can see if maybe those are up, but a Dougie McDaniel around 27, 28 PRA, maybe that I'd probably fire in on that, to be honest. I mean, he's gonna be having the ball in his hand the entire game. The game runs through him. So yeah, Dougie McDaniel. I might kind of steal that one and win that tomorrow again.
But he's gonna get it. He could get it through points alone.
Or points assists if that's even available.
Oh wow, there's overtime in the NFL. I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
But,
no way. Was there really?
Yeah. Jackson.
My buddy told me to hit it at 16 plus 1600, and I was like, okay, yeah.
Jackson, fucking CJ Beathard legacy drive to kick a field goal tie.
CJ Beathard, oh my god, CJ Beathard. He does.
Shout out Mac too in the chat. He likes the under in that Wisconsin Michigan State game. I think we were all over that too.
Yep. Yeah. We were just coming after this. I was going to say that we were definitely leading the under in that one. And Wisconsin on the points, but I will be on
Doug
the under. I will be playing that.
Doug McDaniel, 16.5 points. His alt line is open on DraftKings.
At what? What odds?
16.5 at just minus 110 even.
What?
Hammer it.
You can get 20 plus for plus 180.
Right. His last game he shot
16
9
half
times
is
inside the
crazy.
arc and 12 from outside. He's got 19 shots.
He hit
12
7
shots,
of those
12,
threes
15.
too. He had literally
Yeah, he was
21 just
lights
from
out.
3. Obviously, that's not going to happen every game, but I mean, fuck. He's their scorer.
I mean, he
Like,
got
obviously they have help, but
yeah. I mean, if we're looking at this game,
look at how many field goals he's averaging a game. It's fucking in the mid-teens every game.
He's getting volume like crazy.
Yeah, it's in the mid-teens every game.
I mean, his points are going 22, 16, 26, 20, 13, 20, 12, 33. So I mean, if we're kind of catching a trend here, it's not going to be as effective tomorrow. But I mean, he's still getting 3 assists, 4 rebounds. A game he had Stanford 8 assists, 6 assists versus Long Beach, 7, 8. I mean, he can fill it up in that area too. So
Indiana's like not a super defensive like team from behind the arc anyway either. Like they're letting teams score from 3, like not crazy good, but it's not like they're clamps from the arc. Like he's going to be able to get some looks, and I expect him to shoot at least probably 7-8 threes, and if he makes 3 of them, even like that's already more than half of the point prop. So
fair. Doug McDaniel's points.
Doug McDaniel 3-pointers made. You can alt line it to 3 plus at plus 165 if you like it.
Holy shit, 3 made is plus 165.
Yep. His over 1.5 was minus 190.
I guess maybe it's because the other games he hasn't had the volume. Like, of course, in that Oregon game, especially with overtime, he had a shit ton more time. Like Texas Tech, he had 5 attempts. Stanford, he was 0 for 2. Memphis, he was 0 for 3. But even Long Beach, he shot 5 for 8. St. John's, he had 6 attempts. Asheville, he had 9 attempts. Like,
Indiana's,
as long as the volume's there, like he can make 3 threes.
Indiana's allowing 26 threes attempts a game. That's 325th in the country.
No,
you're gonna go give this guy a bunch of fucking shots.
No, I think the threes is probably the best play. I mean, like I know you called out the points assists. I'm not taking it just because I do lean the under, but I think the threes. I mean, he could win on points alone. I like the points straight up, but I don't know. I also like. I mean, I like Malik Renew's points as well at 13.5. But who knows? He gets into foul trouble, and I bet he gets into foul trouble tomorrow. If I could bet on that, I wish that was a thing. So. He'll have 3 fouls. Malik Renew, he has 3 fouls in the first half. 2, he gets.
Are you a Malik Reneau or Khalil Ware guy? Because I fucking hate IU, but Khalil Ware is he's a solid fucking player. Like that, he's the guy on this team. It looks like Xavier Johnson. I don't think he's really the same guy he was. It looks like Khalil Ware. That one game, he I think 11 of 12, like 30 points. Since then, it's just kind of been him.
Yeah, it's actually Malik. I mean, to me, I mean, just because he played last year, they actually use Malik a lot more. But I mean, Ware has definitely been significant and been dominant. So his points are at 17.5. They're both just twin tower monsters, and I love it. And Mike Woodson obviously loves it. It's kind of old style basketball, but either one of those is just going to be double trouble, and it's going to be Trey Jackson and Nakamura to try to stop them. It's going to be a great battle down low, and I think another game where it's going to be one there. Although, because we know Indiana gives up the 3, we know Michigan also gives up the 3, but Indiana doesn't shoot threes. So
Michigan is definitely giving up the 3. Their 3-point defense is fucking horrible. But
man,
like
this
said,
over
Indiana can't
really
shoot
nice
the 3.
now.
They don't shoot the 3. They 62.9 points distribution with 12.8.
12. Yeah, because they can't fucking make them. They're shooting 25% from 3.
Yeah.
Like they're not shooting a lot. They're only shooting they're shooting really low volume. But fuck, they can't make any of them.
It's the opposite of Villanova for sure.
Villanova is just shooting a shit ton. Also can't make
nothing. So, and then both teams are bad at free throw percentage too. They're just Indiana's just shy of being below 250. Michigan 304. That's what makes me again like the under, but who knows? I'll be too afraid to play those. And
How was a team like Michigan shooting 65% from the line? That's fucking
Yeah.
embarrassing.
You go to overtime last game and you miss 6 fucking free throws.
Yeah, that's
tough.
just shit.
Yeah, no, that's the one thing that's amazed me. It's like, hey, free throws are the one thing that doesn't change in basketball. The 3-point line will move out as you get older. Guess what? The hoop stays 10 feet. The free throw line is 15 feet. I don't know how you guys are this goddamn bad. Most consistent shot in your life.
I'll just take the first half over in this game, actually, and then we'll see what happens moving forward. And the line's bouncing around, so it's crazy. I went to 147 to 144 to 146 right now since we literally have been talking. I'm not kidding. It's unbelievable.
I guess anything else other on that game? I'll probably not do anything, but I'm probably going to be touching. Let me pause. Let me rephrase that. I'm probably going to be playing Doug McDaniel's. Probably playing Doug McDaniel's 3 props, probably points too. He should have a field day.
No, I'm just kidding.
No,
no.
I mean, goddamn, IU allows 26 3-point attempts a game. Doug's going to get his volume. If you can't hit 3, then so be it.
Take Michigan threes while it's mispriced against IU. I mean, they definitely let that. I definitely like the Doug McDaniel 3 prop, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
I
mean, if Indiana was only giving up like 18, 20 attempts a game, that'd be different. But you get 26. That's like
Indiana against Maryland. I mean, I lean them, of course, but I'm not going to sweat them on the road. I'm just going to enjoy it if they play well and play good. So
fair.
Best of luck.
I guess one game I really want to touch on. Other than that, nothing much. But Missouri State at Middle Tennessee. Middle Tennessee is laying 1 point at home, and this is a team that we know plays very good at home. They lost to Wofford in overtime last outing, but UAB they lost by 1. Western Carolina lost by 2. Stephen F. Austin they beat in overtime at home, and they beat Northern Kentucky. They're feisty at home. They're very tough. Missouri State been pretty good. They have not played anybody. They stepped up in competition. West Virginia start the year lost by 8 on the road in West Virginia. Drake last week on the road they lost by 17. Otherwise they beat Evansville at home. Kent State, Oral Bob. So now they're traveling to Middle Tennessee, and we know that's a tough place to play. Only laying 1 point, or they're catching a point. Middle Tennessee is favored.
Yeah.
Kind of like at Middle Tennessee here. I mean, off that Wofford loss at home, gonna want to come out and avenge that. Missouri State's off of the Drake loss, but anybody inside of 118 on Kent Palm, they've lost by 3-4 possessions at least. Middle Tennessee is not elite competition like that, but this is a tough place to play on the road. Middle Tennessee, they don't shoot free throws, they don't shoot threes well, but they just find a way. Is it a little odd that they're laying a point here in this situation at home, or is it more telling?
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird that it's so weird because I know that their home court advantage has been, a thing for the carrying over from last season. I don't know if maybe them losing to Wofford at home, maybe the magic is wearing off or the streak is just broken. The only time I've really watched this Missouri State team is when they played Kent State a couple weeks ago in a neutral court on one of those tournaments, I think in the very beginning of Feast Week. And they that game was so slow and boring. It was 56-52, but they were really stopping Kent State on offense, and they were coming down the court and hitting some threes in that game. So it was kind of impressive that they took out Kent State. Obviously, Kent State not like a super, high ranked team or anything by any means, but I don't know. It just felt like when I was watching that, their defense really won them that game. I lied about them making threes. They were 3 for 22. They were fucking dog shit from 3, but I don't know. Their defense, I guess, just won them that game. Like stopping Kent State to 52 points is pretty crazy considering Kent State is a team that we know loves to run the ball and score some points. Like they're not a team that's going to put up 50 points. Like they had, 78 versus Charleston, 80 versus Fordham. They dropped 100 on Hampton, 79 versus Fresno. Like this team can score. So I don't know if that was just like a get get up spot from Missouri State where they found themselves, but it's weird. I would definitely stay away. I don't want to bet against Middle Tennessee at home just in case, that home court flow is there for them. But their numbers don't like hop out at me where I'm like, ooh, I really love Middle Tennessee because their offense is really, really bad. Like looking at their numbers, they're shooting 26% from three, and they're ripping, a decent amount of 3-point attempts per game inside the arc, 47%, 68% from the line. They play slow as shit. Their adjusted efficiency on offense is 300th, tempo 358th. Like gun to head, I would take the under in this game because I think both teams are just going to play really slow, and I think there's not going to be a lot of really good open looks. So I would lean the under. I would probably stay away from the side.
Yeah, the only real advantage I'm really kind of on paper, I mean, other than home field and Middle Tennessee just always playing well at home. And that Kent State game, Missouri, that you were talking about, I was just looking at the box score. Kent State 3 of 22 from 3-point, 5 of 12 from the free throw line. Just horrible. I mean, that's a lot of free points that just left out there. You couldn't make a couple more threes that would have been different. But they only turned the ball over 9 times on this team. So on against Missouri State turned the ball over 19 times, and Kent State could not capitalize on that.
Yeah, Missouri State does turn it over a lot. They're 300th in the country in
Yep.
turning it over, so that's a good point.
And Middle Tennessee, 19% of defensive possessions are forcing a turnover. That's 108th in the country. So if there's an avenue for them to stay in this game, and opponents are only shooting 64% on the free throw against them. So if there's an avenue for Middle Tennessee to stay in, this game's a grind them out game. Like you said, under paced. They're going to force turnovers. You're not going to get anything easy against this team. And the turnovers eventually are going to want to do it. Middle Tennessee, 68% from free throw line, 72% from Missouri State. So not like a crazy advantage one way or the other. But just the turnover game, that's where I think this one's going to be won or lost. Middle Tennessee turns it over too, but Missouri State doesn't force them. They're 346 in the country on the turnover possession on defense. So unless Middle Tennessee gives it to them, which I'm sure they are going to, probably 8, 9, 10 times at least, just give it to them. But if Middle Tennessee can take that back and get some quick buckets on the transition, I think they can win this at home too, and maybe even kind of run away with it. I know these small spreads like -1, +1. Whatever team kind of starts to cover, they kind of just trying to start to run away with it. It seems like a lot. So, I'd lean Middle Tennessee, but yeah, I'd like your look with the under there. It's gonna be a grind out game for sure.
Yeah, like you said, bringing that up to turnovers, that's the only thing that maybe scares me. Like fucking Middle Tennessee might get like 14 fast break points if they're forcing that many turnovers, and Missouri State is that careless with the ball. Like them getting 10 steals or something like that, like isn't super abnormal. And if they're like, open lanes to the basket, like they could easily, maybe 14 is crazy, but even 10 points off of turnovers could be the difference. But yeah, I would just pray and rely on them to just not have stupid turnovers like that and giving them easy baskets.
Yeah. Yep. Outside of the total, I ain't not touching that game. It was just interesting to me, just looking at them laying a point versus catching something. But don't even really have to talk about these. Just kind of little brain things. Last 2 games, just possible look aheads here. UMKC at Kansas. Kansas coming off of the Connecticut game. They have Missouri on deck. Both are home games. UMKC coming off of a win against Southeast Missouri. They won by 30 at home. Now they're going to travel to Kansas. So feeling good. I mean, getting Kansas off of after the physical Connecticut game. They got Missouri on deck. Another interstate rivalry. Maybe UMKC and the Roos here kind of show up. Give them a game a little bit, cover the spread. I don't even know what it is. I think it was 28.5 or something like that. So I mean, that's a lot of points for what's that?
Hell no.
No, you don't think so? I don't know. I
cannot have UMKC and on my bet slip. I'll just say that. I don't know. I mean, I could. I'm pretty degenerate, but I know that Kansas is coming off a tough test, but when they just blundered against Eastern Illinois, like what the hell was that even? I'm not going to take anything in this game, but I don't know. Can UMKC stay in it? I mean, Kansas City, Missouri, it's kind of an in-state rivalry. Maybe some kids that are playing there want to play for Kansas too, so I could see the lean definitely covering 27. Just, I don't know. It makes me not want to take taking it all. It's moving down towards UMKC. With that total price too, that means UMKC, if you like them, maybe their team total over too, probably be in the 50s. If you think they can get like around 58, 60 maybe. So
I think if they're covering that team total, they're covering that spread too. But
no, I'm with you. I can't touch
No,
it. I'm not going to touch it.
no, I don't blame you.
They just freak me out. But yeah, I think it's the right play. It's moving in your favor, and yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I guess there's a couple again. Southern Utah at Utah. I mean, Utah's got BYU on Saturday, so possible look ahead there. Maybe don't even want to bother with that. Pine Bluff at Gonzaga. Gonzaga's got Washington on deck. Again, another interstate rivalry. Pine Bluff just put up 86 on Oklahoma. I mean, Oklahoma did have that look ahead against Providence. They got tomorrow, so possibly. I mean, I've not been too thoroughly impressed with Gonzaga. I kind of feel like they've been. I mean, they haven't played the greatest competition. USC couldn't hang on to the ball. USC gave them the ball 10 times. They shot 6 of 22 from 3-point land. So they couldn't hit water if they fell out of a boat. They only won by 4 against UCLA, and UCLA is not that great of a team right now, I don't think. I think they're going to be good, but they're still not fully there. Granted, UCLA almost just lost to Riverside, but Mick Cronin wasn't coaching that game. He was sick. So still a little shocking that they barely escaped against UC Riverside at home. But yeah, getting off track here. But yeah, I don't know. Just some possible look aheads there, but I'm probably not going to play them. But giving me 28 points with some of these teams, I mean, it's not terrible look. I mean, I don't want to do it, but I wouldn't necessarily blame somebody with betting a look ahead spot with an interstate rivalry. It's not like Merrimack's flying over to Kansas to play this game or something.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I just know just with too many other games on, I don't know if I want to bet it. But hey, I don't mind if you. I mean, you might see the ruse in the best bet. It'd be great, but
yeah, no, you're not going to see him in the best bet with some of these games. But I mean, on the card, maybe. I mean, just half unit play. When is this Kansas game? 8:00. I mean, Pine Bluff at Gonzaga is 9, so that might just end up being a fucking.
Did you guys?
Why not?
I had to take. Did someone mention Kent State, South Dakota State? I know that was, or were you guys talking about?
We did not. We were talking Kent State first when they played Missouri State. But what do you got on that one?
I got South Dakota State letting me down, other than one time. God, I mean, Kent State's going to South Dakota State. South Dakota State is not good like they used to be. They're definitely not the big Dakota team anymore. I think Kent State might be my play. We'll see if I put them in money line. I hate betting against Frost Arena, good old Brookings, South Dakota, because they love them Jackrabbit basketball. The fans will be into it, I think, and it's a semi-big game for them. But Kent State's got them beat in all their percentages, other than a few on defense, of not maybe defending the 3-point well. And South Dakota State loves to shoot the 3, so I think that's where Vegas found their edge. But I don't know. I think that's going to be a really good game. They got it priced right. Have not locked it in yet, but my lean is Kent State going into Brookings, South Dakota. They've only played one home game, or they played against Akron and lost 81-75 at home. But the 2 games they've considered home are in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. So shout out South Dakota. They beat Southern Miss by 9. They lost to George Mason and UCF in a neutral site. And at Kansas State, they got pummeled. And they played Towson pretty well in the Pentagon, which is basically a home game for them too. So their first game in Frost Arena definitely scares me, which I need to do some more research. But my initial lean's Kent State, just as the better team.
Yeah, I mean, Kent State, they can also shoot free throws too, unlike South Dakota State. So other than that 3-point defense, I mean, if South Dakota State's getting the 3 ball to fall, I think they'll hang. But I don't know. Kent State can shoot the free throws. They force turnovers. Their defense is elite inside the arc, allowing 45%. Yeah, I'm with you. I think Kent State should be able to get this done, even though it is a road game. But
It'll be a great
what was
game.
it? Yeah, it's gonna be phenomenal. Good mid-major basketball here.
It's just +1.5, but yeah, and then before it gets in the 120s, I might rip Idaho State, Fresno State under. I don't know what it is about Idaho State and our unders, but God, I love betting on those. So
The Vandals.
no, those are the
Isn't that
Tigers.
is that Idaho?
Idaho
Oh, is it?
Vandals, Idaho State.
Okay.
Oh, the Bengals, excuse me, not the Tigers.
Bengals.
The Bengals.
My bad.
Threw that on me, but yeah, no, they can't even score 60 points a game sometimes. So, yeah, I don't really have anything else. I also need to go to bed. I don't think I'm going to. So I'm going to try and lock in my best bets for you guys. That way we all have it in the morning.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, let's fire those. If you guys got anything you've bet on or anything you're firing up for best bet, we'll just recap that. We'll skedaddle out of here after this massive slate.
Huff, you want to kick us off? Yeah, go ahead.
I'm good. I personally I'm going to shout the graphic tomorrow. I'm not going to say anything on the pod right now, but just tune into the graphic tomorrow. So, yeah. So, stay tuned
For sure.
for it.
For sure. Have you bet anything at all yet, or are you just you waiting to see
No,
what happens?
no, I haven't, and that's where I'd hate to just give out a play I'm not betting yet. So
no, for sure.
lock them in, and yeah, so make sure to just tune into the graphic tomorrow. So hopefully continue staying in the green. So
for sure. Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
Locked in yet?
Nick, what you got?
I have 2 locked in right now. So like Huff said, just peep the graphic in the early afternoon, late morning. So the 2 that I have locked in for now is holy fucking brain farting. K-State +2.5 versus Villanova. I already locked that up. And the other one is the San Diego State over 145 versus Grand Canyon. It's actually, dude, it's fallen to 143.5.
It opened at 147. I think that's what's crazy.
Damn, there must be an injury. Is there something?
San Diego Grand Canyon.
Why is it dropping? I mean, Purdue dropped 6 points almost immediately.
Blackshear is listed as a game time decision, but I assume that was already listed. I still have it on 145 in this shitty Florida sportsbook, but on DraftKings it's 143.5.
Okay.
If that injury is irrelevant. He hasn't played yet anyway, so it doesn't look like there's any unless RotoWire is not super up to date and like if it just got announced.
KenPom's got this at 149 total, 76-73. I mean, we know how accurate their totals have been, but still.
Right. Yeah. I mean, if it's falling, it's not going to scare me off of it. It's just giving me a better number in my brain. So I'll let it fall on Hard Rock and then get it at a better number if it's going to keep falling. But yeah, 143.5, it looks like on DK. So I like it even more. So this is the only 2 that I have that I'm definitely going to bet. Like I said, K-State locked. I'm just going to wait for that number now to fall. If it's going to fall in these other books, it'll come with time. Leans. And I lied. I'm going to take FAU with you. So that's my 3rd.
Oh yeah, I think that's what.
Let's go.
But maybe we just do that as our squad ride, and then I'll have 3 other best bets tomorrow too. But yeah, that's one I wrote down and just forgot. But
yeah.
All right, we can squad ride that, but that's my best bet. I got 2 units on that bet.
I hate to give out the same best bet for each one.
Yeah, it just means we should all throw another unit on it, right?
Possibly, or just I give out another 3 and maybe have 4 tomorrow. So I love the good bonus.
Yeah, sure.
Hell yeah. Well, I'm going to I got 2 right now. I'm kind of contemplating on my 3rd one, but I got 2 for sure. FAU, I got it -1.5 earlier today. I tweeted it out, retweeted it on the account, so hopefully you got it. If it's 2.5, 2 still, I like it. I wouldn't play like 3.5 or anything. You can probably catch a better number in game. But give me FAU -1.5. I had it -110. Risk to win 2 units. I think FAU just rolls this game. I think they're going to dominate to be close to a 10-point win. So give me the Owls in Madison Square Garden tomorrow, and then Wisconsin, Michigan State under 131.5. This is just gonna be a nasty, groggy Big Ten game in East Lansing. 2 familiar coaches, 2 familiar teams. That returned a lot of guys. So I think we're going to see more defense than we are going to see offense, especially when both teams cannot shoot the 3-point ball. And Michigan State is horrendous at the free throw line. So give me like a 62 or 65 kind of game, something like that. I think it's going to come down to it. But when you can't make your free throws, you're not going to be scoring late, pushing it over. So give me that under. So that is it for me. And then, like I said, with them, wait for the graphic and best bet. We'll have that out tomorrow. But yeah, they think that's it, fellas. Great show. Hell of so many other games to get to, but not enough time. But it's who cares? We went through probably 15, 20 games at least today. So we did pretty damn good.
Yeah, too bad we didn't talk about Wyoming versus SD School of Mines, whatever that is. SD.
Oh, the School of Mines, South Dakota Mines. Oh,
South
shit.
Dakota Mines, interesting.
Or the new College of Florida. Is that Florida Gulf Coast?
South Dakota School of Mines and Technology in Rapid City. Okay, all right.
Sonny Potsdam's playing Albany. Wow.
There's some barn
Edward
burners.
Waters is visiting Northern Florida. No, that's not a general from a Revolutionary War.
Delaware State versus Gwinnett Mercy. Whatever, Gwinnett Mercy. Shout out Gwinnett Mercy Griffins.
Mississippi University for women is playing McNeese State. What?
Really?
What?
Wait.
8:00. Get your popcorn.
How do we get action on that?
Yeah, no shit. I have
All
hammered
right.
McNeese.
Yeah.
They're gonna school them. This ain't gonna be close. But yeah, hey guys, great show. Pay attention to the our socials at PumpFakePod on Twitter and on Twitter. Sorry, Twitter, and then we'll have the podcast out. That'll be out probably later this evening or in the morning. But Sports Better, Cutback Mac, Benedict Dantold, appreciate you guys for popping in the chat, and we will see you guys on the next episode.
Yep.
See you guys.
See you, boys.